To be perfectly honest, I'm not entirely sure if Australia is ever the focal point, but it's very attractive for candidates. So employees like to come to Australia for everything Australia has to offer, but also it depends on the company. So we are an energy company, it's everything here. We are headquartered here, so that is often an attraction point, because where headquarters are, you usually get a lot of exposure and opportunities.
I think the US is still a great destination. A lot of the companies are headquartered in the US. There's a whole lot of industries that are covered in the US. You could be in one city and experience so many different industries. Look at global mobility programs that are structured. Again, you see different nuances between industries. The mobility policies that you see for a tech company like ours is going to differ from, for example, a biomedical company. And so getting that, if you're in mobility and coming to the US, I think you'll get a lot more exposure to those differences.
Right. Basically, India, with its rapid economic growth rate and also the abundant expansion of business opportunities that are available in the market, I think it is becoming an increasingly interesting market for the organizations. A lot of talent also is available in India in almost all the industries across sectors. So this is an opportunity for the companies actually to invest in India, and the global mobility programs can help in terms of establishing places and as well as providing assistance to the organizations in one of the fastest growing economies.
We began as a little red dot that has earned its place on a global stage today. So I think it is because it has its well interconnectedness with many different parts of the world. It has a very cosmopolitan ambience that makes it attractive for assignees of different walks of life. So be it expatriates with families, single employees, or female travelers, I continue to think that Singapore is a destination that would be, great for them, regardless of their profile. So the stable political environment, makes it a lot easier for one to, bring their family and settle. And for the same reasons, we do have a very diverse talent pool for transfer of knowledge, which I find that increasingly important, as everyone can bring in a different diversity of thoughts to support the business. So in that, Singapore also provides a lot of incentive for foreign investors, for businesses. They can take advantage of like double tax treaties. If I remember correctly, there were over 70 countries that we do have tax treaties with. And as a global mobility professional, one of the very important aspects for me is ensuring that we actually fulfill duty of care. So when it comes to relocating employees, safety and security, remains like my top consideration and priority. And Singapore's very safe environment does make it attractive for employees coming into Singapore, as they will feel safe and confident when it comes to integrating into the communities.
Be excited, but be informed. Everything is in the details over here in Costa Rica. If you don't read everything you need to read, you don't go over every document that you need to go over, things or processes might get very difficult for you. Because, sometimes there is this concept or idea that since it's Latin America, everything is way easier. And yes, but at the same time, no. Because it's very bureaucratic. Very, very bureaucratic. So yeah, just pay attention, be informed. Do be excited. Never lose that hope. Never lose that excitement.
A top tip I would give for moving assignees into Spain would be managing expectations and communication are key. I think that it is a stressful process whenever you move, but there are some hurdles and complexities that come along with trying to get set up in a country like Spain that you have to just be patient with, make sure that you're providing as much support as possible, and understand that, it is a big change and could be a very different type of process than what someone would be used to in their home country.
My advice to assignees would always be, go with it, expect the unexpected, be open for new challenges, for new opportunities, but most importantly, embrace the culture, the people, and the warmth that Canada has to offer.
Yes, I would say that the most challenging thing in this region is about understanding the culture. So actually what I can see that especially some people moving from US to GCC countries, they are feeling with the cultural differences and interacting with people. So I think the challenge that companies need to work on it is the culture awareness and how you are communicating with the nations and the citizens. We are, as Egyptian Arab countries, we are just more human. We lack human interaction more than anything else. It's not an email, it's just interacting with the people face to face. So I think it's about the culture awareness.
When talking about Switzerland, the first thought that crossed my mind is definitely immigration. But what is very funny is, despite being in the middle of Europe, Switzerland is not a part of European Union, and European nationals, for some reason, still do not want to recognize it. So when living and working in the European Union and willing to relocate to Switzerland, people think, oh, it's easy, so let's get to Switzerland. It's just crossing a border within the continent. But the immigration is a very big issue in Switzerland because the Swiss protect their labor market, they protect their borders, they let only very high qualified non-European Union nationals entering the labor market, while based on the free movement of personnel within the European Union nationals can walk in and start working. For the non-European Union nationals, it's a challenge, especially for the employers. Hand in hand with the challenge of immigration goes minimum wage requirement, which is a big topic for companies willing to relocate personnel to Switzerland. We have minimum wages, not set by law, but we have a lot of trade union agreements that define a minimum wage. And when applying for a work permit for Switzerland, a minimum wage needs to be confirmed and needs to be paid out. And when looking at the wages within the European Union and in the neighboring countries of Switzerland, like Germany, France, Italy, the wages for same qualified personnel in Germany or in France are by more than 40 up to 60% lower than what the wages in Switzerland are. Also, Switzerland as a location, as a challenge, is people think you come to Switzerland, you become a millionaire. They do not see the scale of costs of living and the earnings that of course go hand in hand together. Also, a challenge when coming to Switzerland are Swiss. They are very closed. I experienced it by my own 17 years ago, when Swiss people are used to work and live together with the foreigners. I mean, consider a rate of 20% of foreigners only in Zurich, where I am based. So Swiss people are used to live and and spend time with foreigners, but they absolutely protect their private life. You feel a huge work-life balance in Switzerland. So when a foreigner comes to Switzerland, being on assignment, being relocated on the local base, being a talent, it takes some time to become a part of the country. And then also Switzerland as a destination is when assignment goes to end and the individual is supposed to go back to the home country. I experienced cases where the assignees hardly looked for a local employment in Switzerland, just not to go to the same working conditions they have had in their home country before relocating to Switzerland.
I think it might sound obvious, but I think empathy, I think it's really important, and it really makes a difference when you put yourself in someone else's shoes. And an international move, it's quite stressful, and is a very important step and change in your life from a professional point of view, but also on a personal level. So I think it's important to have and to build that connection with the assignees, and also to be transparent and open, because we're all different. So I think it's important to have those conversations at the outset to understand what level of support the assignee wants to get or is expecting from the GM team, and the best way to be to reach out to them. So I think it's important just to establish that connection from the outset.